Commando is about a retired colonel called John Matrix, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. First off, John Matrix is the most 80s action movie name I have ever heard. Like, you just know this guy is about to kick some ass, right? He's living his best life with his daughter, Jenny, played by Alyssa Milano. Wait, is that the lassie from Charmed? Holy fuck, so it is! Huh, who knew? They do all the things that you'd expect a loving father and daughter would do. They go for ice cream. Oh. They go fishing. Oh, that's lovely. They feed a deer? They feed a deer? And John Matrix is actually introduced by carrying a fucking tree. Just wanted to drop that in there. You know. Their lives are turned upside down when the director realises we're actually in an action film. Jenny gets kidnapped by a dictator that John helps overthrow. Said dictator wants John to kill the new president of... What was that?
Return to Valverde.
That place, so that he can get back to, well, dictating. With this new information, John does the only reasonable thing that he could do. He escapes and finds a sidekick in a trainee pilot called Cindy, played by Ray Dawn Chong. Now Ray, I am so sorry if I butchered your name. I'm trying. And they go and track down our wee Jenny. Before I move on, Cindy is actually a breath of fresh air in this film. She's basically us in the movie. She notices that this is a bit bonkers and kinda points it out to them.
You steal my car, you rip the seat out, you kidnap me, and then you get me involved in a shootout where people are dying and there's blood spurting all over the place, and then I watch you rip a phone booth out of the wall, swing from the ceiling like Tarzan. Are you gonna tell me what's going on or what?
No. But Cindy's a really nice contrast to the straight man that is John Matrix. Once they find where the villain is, which is his own private island, obviously, because you're not really a villain unless you have your own island. Wow, that's actually way more relevant nowadays than I would like to hope. Oh man. Fuck. John gears himself up in a pretty badass montage, ruined by the fact he's got these stupid binoculars on.
Couldn't get the binoculars out in time.
Why do you need binoculars? Now John does what every good hitman does in one of these missions. He messes up in the first 5 minutes and decides to go guns blazing and kill anything that moves. Now I want you to have a think. How many people do you think John kills in the last 15 minutes of this film? Is it A, 23, B, 32, C, 29, or D, 74? Take your time. If you said A, then you have never seen an 80s action film. Sorry guys. If you said D and you're correct, he kills 74 bloody people in this film. 15 minutes just mows them down. It's beautiful. Once he decides to kill a whole island, we get to the big crescendo, the fight to end all fights, with Bennett, who's the other villain, but honestly he just kind of floats about until this fight, and the fight's rubbish. I'm sorry, I know I'm meant to be fawning over this film, but the fight is actually super poor. It's cut weirdly, and I was just kind of happy it was over. You know, it was a bit boring. We did get a brilliant one-liner to end the movie though.
Let off some steam, Bennett.
And after all is said and done, we have a happy ending. Jenny gets to meet Cindy, more than likely going to be her new stepmom. I mean, just look at the way Cindy looks at Arnie. Wait a minute, something has just came to me. In this film, John can dodge bullets. He rocks Toki no Jutsu to stop a guy shooting him in the head. When he gets wounded, he gets stronger. He is the first anime protagonist. Oh my god, he's a proto-Goku. Commando is so unapologetically 80s it actually hurts. From the over-the-top music, to the fact that just about everything blows up, the guns that don't need reloaded, and I fucking live for this shit. These are films I need in my life, You know, you sit your ass down, grab a beer, and just turn off and allow it to happen. When I watch these, I can't help but smile by the sheer ridiculousness of it all, and the fact it's not a piss take of itself. The film takes itself seriously, and that's what makes it actually so entertaining. Let me explain. In a modern action film, there's a bit of a meta thing going on, a bit of an in-joke at one-liners. So when a one-liner happens, they'll give it almost like a nudge nudge wink wink, we know the one-liners are silly. So do we. We don't need you to tell us that. The reason one-liners work is in world they believe everything they're saying. They think it's the most badass thing they could possibly say in that moment. And what makes it fun is, we get to make fun of it. Not them, us. Anyways, back to Commando. The action is decent. It's nothing groundbreaking. But, oh, I love a good but. But there's so much of it that you just don't give a fuck. It starts with a bang, it ends with a bang, and it just keeps on banging. A prime example of this is there's a car chase that is broken up by a fight in the mall, and I can just imagine the boardroom for this. We need to break up the car chase. What about dialogue? Progress the characters a bit? No. God no. What about some exposition? Let's learn something about the world. You stupid. Not happening. What about a fight in a mall? Genius. Let's do it. Another big moment is John decides to use every weapon under the sun when he gets to the island to defeat the horde of enemies that actually show up. And I mean a literal horde. Take a look at this. He starts off with guns, then weirdly finds himself in a work shed. And from there he decides, I'm going to pick-short someone, get someone with an axe, and throw buzzsaws at people. 80's folks. On the note of the axe, he gets someone in the plums with it, which weirdly is a theme for this film. John has a real habit of going for the nuts. I get it, you're pissed off, your daughter's been captured, but come on guy, that's taking it too far. On the note of low blows, the fight scenes in this aren't great. I'm not expecting much from an Arnie film when it comes to fighting, but these were all sadly a bit boring, which is a shame because our last fight, as I said, is the big knife fight between John and Bennett, and you're just kind of glad it's over. But besides that, the action is pretty fun. I'll be the first to admit, Commando's not a good film. It ain't winning any awards. My god, it's fun. And that's what I want in an action film. Fun. I love it when they go outside the box and they do something different. But 9 times out of 10, when I'm looking at an action film, I don't want any to think. I just want to turn off and enjoy. And that's what this film does. It puts a massive smile on my face, even to this day watching it. And for that alone, you should give it a bash. It's only an hour and a half long. Wow, remember when films used to only be an hour and a half? You know, sub 2 hour, instead of, you know, pushing 4. I'm looking at you, Justice League Snyder Cut, who's got 4 hours of the day to watch one film. I don't want to need to plan out a whole day to watch a film. Just saying. Oh, quickly, before I go, Bill Paxton's in it. And as always, thank you all for watching. Till next time.